By mid-afternoon the light went pale, not fading out, just losing detail. Edges softened on every side, like time had somewhere else to hide. I sat where the carpet met the floor, 1 foot in shade, 1 near the door. Not leaving yet, not staying still, just letting quiet take its fill. A clock ticked somewhere out of sight, but didn't anchor me in time. It marked a rhythm I could hear without insisting I aligned. There was a freedom in that drift, a looseness I had never picked on purpose, planned or tried to claim. It simply came without a name. I opened up a half-read book, then closed it after just a look. The story didn't pull me in, but didn't feel like something lost. A breeze slipped under through the frame, moved a page without a cause. That small disruption in the still felt more honest than a will. Down the street, a distant shout rose and fell, then phased back out. A passing echo, not a call. Still it reached me through the wall, and something in the way it moved reminded me I wasn't removed from everything beyond this space, just resting at a different pace. There's a softness in the day when you stop needing it to stay. You're changing to something more than what it's already for. And I let the hours blur their lines, not dividing yours from mine. Just a stretch of quiet air that I don't need to repair. And in that space I start to see a slower version of me, not fixed, not lost, not out of place, just moving at a different pace. I stood up without a reason why, walked a circle, then passed by the same chair I'd left before, but didn't sit there anymore. A subtle shift in where I stayed, not better, just a slight upgrade in how I let the moment be, without requiring clarity. I poured a glass and let it sit, didn't drink, didn't commit to finishing what I began, just letting go of tied up plans, and every small unfinished thing didn't carry what it brings. On days when everything must close or reach an end before it goes, I leaned against the open wall, watched the light begin to fall into something softer still, without demanding I fulfill any role or steady form, just a body slightly warm in a space that didn't press for answers I could not express. No need to capture what it means, no need to sharpen what is seen, just letting time expand and bend without a start or needing end. And I let the hours blur their lines, not dividing yours from mine, just a stretch of quiet air that I don't need to repair. And in that space I start to see a slower version of me, not fixed, not lost, not out of place, just moving at a different pace. No sharp end, no clear start, just a day softly apart. The ground moves steady underfoot, not fast enough to overlook, but not so slow it held me still, just somewhere balanced in the middle. I didn't set a pace to keep or measure distance as I went. Each step a ride without demand, and left without intent. A storefront window caught my glance, reflection shifting as I passed, layered shapes that didn't stay, still they changed along the way. I didn't stop to fix the view or figure out what it might prove, just let the image come and go like something than I could loosely know. A bus pulled up then moved along. Didn't feel like something gone, just part of how the street behaved. Emotion I could let be made. Someone crossed without a rush, another paused and didn't push. And all these slight unscripted moves felt easier to fall into. I used to think I had to drive each second forward in my life, but standing in this moving space, I didn't feel that same constraint. Like time was carrying me through without requiring what to do. And I could simply be inside the way the moments chose to collide. There's a flow without a force, a path that doesn't need a course. If you let it take the lead, you can move without a need. And I'm carried forward slowly, not by will, not by control. Oh, just a steady kind of drift that I don't have to lift. And every step I didn't plan still ends exactly where I am, without a push, without a plea. This motion's enough for me. I reached a place I didn't know, but didn't feel the need to go back to where I thought I should, or stand where I once understood. The unfamiliar held its ground without demanding I turn around. And something in that steady stance felt like a quiet second chance. A bench stood empty near the curb. I sat without a single word, not resting, not in need of pause, just letting go of hidden cause. And watching everything proceed without relating it to me was somehow freeing in a way I hadn't known I could display. I stood again and let the street pull me back into its beat, not as something I controlled, but something I could simply hold. And in that holding I could feel a version of myself more real, not sharper, not more defined, just less confined inside my mind. No need to push, no need to pull, no need to empty or be full. Just let emotion take its place and meeting it with open space. And I'm carried forward slowly, not by will, not by control. Oh, just a steady kind of drift that I don't have to lift. And every step I didn't plan still lands exactly where I am, without a push, without a plea. This motion's enough for me. Maybe effort isn't wrong, but maybe I held it too long, as if I had to make things move to prove I had something to prove. But now I see the space between the force and what has always been, a current I can step inside without deciding how to guide. And I'm carried forward slowly, not by will, not by control. Oh, just a steady kind of drift that I don't have to lift. And every step I didn't plan still lands exactly where I am, without a push, without a plea. This motion's enough for me. Step and flow, no demand, move on where I stand. The shoreline stretched in muted gray, water pulled itself away. Not sudden, not a breaking line, just easing out of what was mine. I stood where wet met dry and sand, felt this shift without a plan. No urge to follow where it went, just watching how the distance bent. Footprints faded at the edge, softly losing what they held. Not erased, just less defined, like memory without a bind. The air stayed still against my skin, carrying where I had been. Without insisting, I return, or marking what I didn't learn. A gull traced circles overhead, not searching hard, not fully fed, just moving in a pattern loose without a need to introduce direction, meaning, or control into the way it chose to roll across the sky in subtle arcs that didn't ask me to take part. I walked along the uneven line, Not a loss, not a divide, just another form of tide. And I feel it pulling gently, not away but differently, like a space I'm meant to stand without trying to understand. And even as it disappears, it doesn't take me with it here. It leaves a quieter kind of ground where I can still be found. To touch the cooling sand, didn't hold it in my hand, just felt the texture, let it fall back into where it belonged. No need to keep or carry through what wasn't mine to hold on to, and that release felt more like trust than anything I used to clutch. The horizon stayed where it had been, unmoved by what was shifting in or out along the shallow line that once had felt like it was mine. And in that steady distant view, I felt a sense that maybe too, not everything that seems to go is something I am meant to know. I turned away without regret, didn't need to offset what had left or what remained, or measure loss against the gain. Just walked back where the land felt dry, let the wind pass softly by and carried nothing but the pace of moving through an open space. No need to chase what pulls away, no need to force it back to stay, just letting distance take its shape without defining it as escape. And I feel it pulling gently, not away but differently, like a space I'm meant to stand without trying to understand. And even as it disappears, it doesn't take me with it here. It leaves a quieter kind of ground where I can still be found. Maybe retreat is part of flow, not something I have to oppose. Maybe what recedes in time is making space for something mine without declaring what that is or framing it in narratives. Just letting ebb and presence meet without deciding which to keep. And I feel it pulling gently, not away but differently, like a space I'm meant to stand without trying to understand. And even as it disappears, it doesn't take me with it here. It leaves a quieter kind of ground where I can still be found. Water fades till I stay, ground remains in its way. Thin line of light across the floor, not asking to become much more, just resting where it chose to fall against the quiet of the wall. I watched it shift but not too far, just enough to leave a mark that didn't need to stay or prove anything beyond its move. The room held steady in its frame, nothing different, nothing changing, yet the way I stood inside didn't pull me to decide what it meant or where it led, or if it needed to be said out loud or turned into a thought that I could hold or I could not. A breath came in and then it left, no deeper meaning to be kept, just part of something moving through without asking what to do. And in that simple in and out, I felt a quiet kind of doubt begin to loosen from its place and leave a softer kind of space. Outside, a distant door was closed and silence followed as it goes. No echo stayed to carry on, just a moment then it's gone. And that felt right in how it passed. Not everything is meant to last or hold a weight beyond its turn or offer something to return. There's a peace in letting go of needing more than what is so, a steadiness that doesn't ask to stretch beyond the present task. And this is just enough light, not to dim, not too bright, just a space where I can stay without needing more today. And I don't reach for what comes next, I try to make this moment stretch. I let it be what it is, and I still me certain lead or trace a thought back to its start, or pull apart what felt like part of something I once tried to name before I let it be the same as everything that comes and goes without demanding, I suppose. The walls held quiet, not too still, just enough to let me feel the space around me as it stayed unchanged, but not the same as made before I stepped into this place, with less resistance in my pace and more allowance in my view for what is simple and is true. I close my eyes and open them, nothing lost and nothing gained, just the same continuing line of being here without design. And in that line I didn't need to add or take or intercede, it held itself without my help, and I could simply feel myself. No need to turn it into more, no need to question what it's for, just letting what is here remain without attaching it to change. And this is just enough light, not too dim, not too bright, just a space where I can stay without needing more today. And I don't reach for what comes next to try to make this moment stretch. I let it be what it is, and I stay here like this. Maybe this is where it lands, not an end but where I stand, without needing something new to prove that I have made it through. And maybe all I had to find was less demand within my mind to shape the moment into form, instead of letting it be warm. And this is just enough light, not too dim, not too bright, just a space where I can stay without needing more today. And I don't reach for what comes next to try to make this moment stretch. I let it be what it is, and I stay here like this. Light remains soft and true, nothing more left to do. Nothing in the room had changed, same soft lines, familiar frame, a chair angled toward the wall, a shadow stretched but not too far. And yet the way I held the space didn't carry that same weight. It felt less fixed, less confined, more open in a quiet kind. The air moved gently through the room, not enough to shift or bloom, but enough to feel a trace of something passing through the place. I didn't follow, didn't chase, didn't try to give it shape, just let it move without demand and stayed exactly where I am. The sound outside, a passing tone, didn't pull me from my own position in the steady frame, just lay it softly into place. I used to think I had to move to prove I had something to prove, but standing here without that need felt closer to what I could be. A clock ticks somewhere far away, didn't pull me into time, just marked a rhythm I could hear without needing to align. And in that distance I could feel a steadier sense of what is real, not louder, not defined by proof, just something I could stand within. There's a stillness that can move without asking you to choose between staying or becoming something more than what is coming, and still it moves inside of me, not urgently, not visibly, just a quiet kind of flow that doesn't need me to control. And I don't reach to redefine what it is or where it lies. I let it be what it will be, and that is enough for me. I stood up and sat back down, not from doubt, not from a crown of questions circling around, just testing how it felt to ground myself without a need to go anywhere beyond this flow, and finding that it didn't lack anything I thought I'd track. The window held a fading light, not bright, not slipping into night, just somewhere balanced in between, a space I didn't need to lean Nothing lost and nothing gained, just the same continuous thread of being here instead of led by something I had to pursue or something I had to undo. And in that absence something grew, a calm I didn't have to choose. No final step, no finish line, no need to claim what's mine, just letting what is present stay in its own unspoken way. And still it moves inside of me, not urgently, not visibly, just a quiet kind of flow that doesn't need me to control. And I don't reach to redefine what it is or where it lies. I let it be what it will be, and that is enough for me. Maybe this is where it lands, not an end but where I stand. Nothing in the room had changed. Same soft lines, familiar frame, a chair angled toward the wall, a shadow stretched but not too far. And yet the way I held the space didn't carry that same weight. It felt less fixed, less confined, more open in a quiet kind. The air moved gently through the room, not enough to shift or bloom, but enough to feel a trace of something passing through the place. I didn't follow, didn't chase, didn't try to give it shape, just let it move without demand and stayed exactly. The window hadn't moved an inch, still framed the same adjacent bricks, same narrow slice of passing sky, same wires cutting lines across. I'd look through it 100 times without expecting it to change. Something in the way I stood didn't ask it to rearrange. A smudge I'd meant to wipe away caught the light a different way, turned into a blurred out flare that softened what was sitting there. I didn't fix it like before, didn't reach to make it clear, let the imperfections stay, and somehow that drew me near. A pigeon landed on the ledge, then shifted away from edge to edge, not restless, just unsure of where it needed to endure. I watched it longer than I planned, not because it meant something grand, but because I didn't need to turn away immediately. The glass reflected parts of me, layered with what I could see inside and out. It overlapped in ways I didn't try to map, and for a second, maybe more, that merging didn't feel unsure, just something I could let exist without demanding what it is. There's a change in how it lands when you loosen both your hands from needing clarity to let it simply be. And I see it through the same window, but it doesn't feel so narrow. Every line is still in place, still it opens up the space, and I don't need it to improve or give me something I can use. It's enough to let it show there's more in what I used to know. I leaned my shoulder on the frame, felt the stillness shift its weight, not because the room had changed, but because I didn't press against it like I used to do, trying to break or push it through into something more defined than it was designed to be. A car alarm went off below, then stopped before it built a tone. No escalation, no complaint, just a moment left unclaimed. And even that incomplete sound didn't pull me from the ground of where I stood within the day, letting things arrive and fade. I stepped back once, then stepped again, not deciding where or when, just testing how the room would feel if I let go of what is real or not, or fixed or clearly shown. And in that space I felt alone in a way that didn't press, more like open, more like rest. No need to sharpen what I I see. No need to draw it carefully, just letting edges blur and bend without needing to defend. I see it through the same window, but it doesn't feel so narrow. Every line is still in place, still it opens up the space. And I don't need it to improve or give me something I can use. It's enough to let it show. There's more in what I used to know. Maybe nothing had to change. Maybe I just rearranged the way I let it come to me without needing certainty. And maybe that's enough to shift a rigid frame into a drift where things can move without demand and still feel like I understand. And I see it through the same window, but it doesn't feel so narrow. Every line is still in place, still it opens up the space. And I don't need it to improve or give me something I can use. It's enough to let it show. There's more in what I used to know. Same view stays, still it grows through the glass. Something shows. She was by the door, collecting dust for weeks. A receipt on the table, faded coffee rings. The clock in the kitchen dragging out the day. Same bus down the avenue, same old freight train. I knew every sound the building made at night. The radiator singing in uneven lines. And neighbors' laughter leaking through the wall. Proof the world was moving even if I stalled. I kept my coat on in the middle of the room, like I might leave soon but never followed through. Let the curtains stay half closed against the glass. Morning came in gray and went away so fast. My phone lit up with names I didn't answer. I had no good reason, only silence there. It wasn't heartbreak, wasn't even grief, just a kind of stillness with its hands on me. And one day the window wouldn't fully close. A narrow line of air slipped in and crossed my throat. Not cold enough to hurt, not warm enough to name, just different from the stale and familiar weight down below. A kid rode circles in the street. Someone shook a rug out from a fire escape. A little dog kept pulling at a loosened leash, like even he could tell the weather had to break. I washed a glass, then washed another one. Put on a record I had left untouched. The singer's voice was rough around the edges, like somebody learning how to mean what they said. I watched the sunlight move across the floor. It reached the chair, the wall, the open door. Nothing dramatic, no sudden holy sign, just the room admitting there was more outside. And I could hear the hinges giving way, a small surrender in the frame, the kind that doesn't ask for fate, it only asks you not to look away. So I threw the windows down inside my head, let the noise come in, let the dust get swept, let the day be loud, let the bright wind spin. I was tired of talking like I'd never live again. And the street woke up and I woke with it, bit by bit, not all at once, just this. A hand on the latch, a breath in my chest. The world didn't change, but I was saying yes. I took the long way to the corner store, past the little garden by the basement door. Tiny green shoots pushing through the dirt, soft and unimpressed by whether it was worth. A girl with yellow headphones crossed on red, then laughed and ran while taxis turned ahead. Somewhere from a roof there came a trumpet line, bent and bright and clumsy, but it hit me right. I bought oranges, flowers, a loaf of bread, things that made no sense for one quiet night. Carried them home like they were evidence that I was stepping back into my life. Up the stairs, the hallway smelled like paint, fresh over old mistakes and water stains. I opened every window in the place, let the curtains lift and billow like a wave. I called a friend I ghosted in the winter, said I'd been weird, said I'd been smaller. She didn't ask for polished explanations, only said come out, we're all downstairs. So I went with mismatched socks and untied hair, the kind of look that says I almost didn't care. But under that something tender had returned, a pulse of wanting, fragile, undisguised and sure. No quiet, no lightning in the sky, no perfect line to summarize, just pavement warm beneath my shoes, and something locked for months came loose. So I threw the windows down inside my head, let the noise come in, let the dust get swept, chair, pulled out a missed call. Maybe it's the courage just to crack the shade, to stand in a room that you almost gave away. Maybe spring is only this, a loosened jaw, an open wrist, a softer gaze on ordinary things, the sink, the stairs, the sparrows on the railing. I used to think I needed some grand release, a movie scene, a shouting in the street, but all I needed was the nerve to begin, to let the air arrive and not resist. So I threw the windows down inside my head, let the noise come in, let the dust get swept, let the day be loud, let the bright wind spin. I was tired of talking like I never live again, and the street woke up and I woke with it, bit by bit, not all at once, just this, a hand on the latch, a breath in my chest. The world didn't change, but I was saying yes. Open the frame, open the day, I'm on my way, I'm on my way. By the time the morning came, the rain was thin, just a silver thread along the window skin. The rooftops held a tight kind of shine, like they've been up all night, deciding to survive. I stood barefoot in the hallway light, holding yesterday's shirt still damp at the sleeve. The mirror gave me back a careful face, one I had worn so long it felt like glue on me. The kettle on without conviction, the sink was full, the counter's cold. A half-read book lay open on the floor, at the page where someone chose not to go home. That landed harder than it should have been. I knew the shape of postponing things, how easy it was to call it rest, when really it was hiding in plain sight. Outside the crosswalk blinked through puddled streets, white lines, red hands, a city half asleep. A bike went by with water on the tires, a small clean hiss, then nothing after. No one was asking me to be brave, no voice from heaven, no deadline, no dare. Still something in the washed out air made staying in feel heavier than the weather. I found an old green jacket near the door, one coin in the pocket and a train card from before. Back when I used to miss my stop on purpose, just to keep walking through unfamiliar blocks. I put it on and went downstairs, past the mailbox, past the chipped blue paint. The lobby smelled like wet concrete and soap, like somebody had tried to make a fresh start there. The avenue was rinsed to softer colors, store signs glowing faint through drifting steam. A flower seller pulled the top back from his stand, and tulips flashed like matches in the gray. I didn't buy them then, just kept moving, past the bakery warming up its trays, past a man who sang while stacking chairs, his voice imperfect, open, unashamed. At the corner, traffic gathered, then released, and with it came a strange and easy thought. Nothing is asking to be solved today. Maybe I can simply be where I am. So I let my shoulders drop an inch, let my jaw unclench without a speech. It felt so small, I almost laughed. How much relief can live in little things. The rain had left its shine on everything, the curb, the rails, the taxi roofs, and all at once the world looked less like something I had to get through. After the long read, color found me, not like a firework, more like ivy climbing the brick, taking its time, quiet as hope, steady as street signs. And I could feel my pulse come back, and passing faces in a paper bag, in the scent of bread in the widening sky. I wasn't fixed, I was alive. I turned toward the river without planning to. The path was slick with pedals stuck to stone, a runner slow to tie a neon lace. Two teenagers shared one set of headphones. A woman in a yellow scarf stood still, arms full of lilies wrapped in newsprint. She closed her eyes and faced the breeze like she had finally reached the part she needed. I bought the tulips on my way back home, orange at the tips read near the stem. The seller tucked them in brown paper and smiled like he had seen this day before. Upstairs, I cleared the dishes from the sink, opened every window in the apartment. The air moved through the rooms with patient hands, touching books and chairs and all the unsaid things. Then I texted people I had drifted from, not with a grand confession, just a line. Hey, I've been quiet, but I'm here. And almost right away they answered. One sent a photo of the park near dusk. One wrote, come meet us if you're out. One just sent a heart, and that was enough to make the whole place seem less far away. I put the tulips in a cloudy jar, watched the heads lean loosely toward the light. That's when I knew I didn't need a finish. I only needed room enough to keep unfolding. The day was ordinary, fully so. No cinematic music, no final scene. Still I felt the ground receive my weight, as if it had been waiting without blame. No thunder left, no need to run, only the hush that follows done. The kind that lets a person hear their own name gently reappear. After the long rain, color found me, not like a firework, more like ivy climbing the brick, taking its time. Quiet as hope, steady as street signs. And I could feel my pulse come back, and passing faces in a paper bag, in the scent of bread in the widening sky. I wasn't fixed, I was alive. For a while I thought I had to earn any softness that came near me, as if joy were a locked room and grief the only honest key. But the sidewalk grass pushed through the cracks without permission, without shame. And the clouds broke open over glass towers, just enough to silver every frame. Maybe the heart comes back this way, not all together, not all the same. Maybe it gathers in reflections in wet asphalt, train doors, window panes. Maybe becoming is not a lead, maybe it's leaning toward the day. A hand around a warm cup, a body choosing not to turn away. After the long rain, color found me, not like a firework, more like ivy climbing the brick, taking its time. Quiet as hope, steady as street signs. And I The room still held a trace of sound, not enough to shake the ground, just a fading kind of tone that lingered after it was gone. I stood where everything had been, trying not to pull it in or chase what already passed into something meant to last. A glass sat tilted on the edge, where I'd left it on the desk. No urgency to set it straight or calculate what it might take to bring things back into a line that felt controlled or more defined. Instead I let it stay askew, like something honest in its view. The air had settled in a way that didn't press me to replay every word or every sound that once had filled the space around it. Simply held a quieter tone that didn't feel like being alone, more like something coming near that didn't need to interfere. A chair creaked slightly when I moved, a small reminder I was here, not as something out of place, but something grounded in the space. And even that soft, simple shift felt like a kind of steady lift from what had once been loud and tight into something open light. There's a moment after sound where the quiet feels like ground, not empty, not a void, just a space that's been restored. And I'm standing in the after where the echoes don't matter, not erased, just out of frame, without needing to remain. And I don't reach to fill it in or bring the volume back again. I let the silence take its place and hold me in a softer space. I walked across the empty floor, didn't hear what came before, in the same way I once would when everything felt understood as something I had to retain or keep alive against the understand why the shift had come so soft, or why it didn't cost anything I thought it might when I held everything too tight. Now it's simply settled in without asking where I've been. No need to replay what is done, no need to outpace what has come. Just letting what is left remain without attaching it to pain. And I'm standing in the after where the echoes don't matter, not erased, just out of frame without needing to remain. And I don't reach to fill it in or bring the volume back again. I let the silence take its place and hold me in a softer space. Maybe quiet isn't less, maybe it's just different depth, a way to feel what's underneath without demanding full release. And maybe what remains is true, not because it shouts it through, but because it simply stays when everything else fades away. And I'm standing in the after where the echoes don't matter, not erased, just out of frame without needing to remain. And I don't reach to fill it in or bring the volume back again. I let the silence take its place and hold me in a softer space. Echo fades, still I stand, nothing lost, just unmanned. Something in the way the floor held my steps a little more, didn't push or pull me through, just stay steady underfoot. I hadn't noticed how I leaned into patterns in between, where I thought I had to go and where I let myself not know. The ceiling fan turned slow above, not enough to stir things up, just enough to shift the air into something I could share. With the quiet in the room that no longer felt like gloom, but more like space I could exist without needing to resist. I stepped outside into the street, felt the same ground beneath my feet, but something in the way it stayed didn't feel like I had to pave a direction or a line to make the movement feel like mine. It simply happened as I went without requiring intent. A window opened somewhere near, let a fragment of a song appear, then disappear without a trace. Still it lingered in the space, not as something I could hold, but something I could let unfold without deciding what it meant or why it came and where it went. There's a pull without a force, a path without a set course, something in the way it flows that doesn't ask me what I know. And I'm moving with a soft gravity, not pulled tight, not resisting free, just carried in a quiet way through whatever fills the day. And I don't need to make it clear why I'm standing right here. It's enough to feel the ground holding me without a sound. I passed a place I used to mark, and something heavy, something dark, but now it stood without that weight, just another shape in space. And walking by it didn't pull or shift me out of what felt full, it simply stayed where it had been while I moved differently within. I stopped beside it, crossing light, watched it flicker into sight, red to green without a sign that I had to redefine what it meant to cross or stay, or if there was a better way. I just waited, then I moved without needing to approve. Each step landed without doubt, not because I figured out where it led or what it proved, but because I simply moved. And in that motion I could feel something quieter, more real than anything I tried to hold when everything had to be told. No need to pull against the flow, no need to type in what I know, just letting what is gently guide without resisting from inside. And I'm moving with a soft gravity, drifting away so slow. I almost didn't see them go across the sky that held its shape. Even as it rearranged, nothing urgent in the shift. No dramatic kind of drift, just a steady quiet turn that didn't ask me to discern. I lay back against the ground, watch the edges soften down into something less defined, but easier to leave behind. Beneath the track, each passing form, or label what was being worn by something that refused to stay exactly how it was that day. A bird cut through the open space, didn't alter what it faced, just passed along a different line without disturbing what was mine. And in that motion, I could feel a kind of calm that wasn't real in the sense of being held, but real in how it gently fell. The wind stayed light across my skin, not enough to pull me in or push me out of where I lay, just present in a passing way. And everything around me seemed to shift without needing a theme or purpose I could hold on to. Still it felt complete and true. There's a turning in the sky that doesn't ask you to reply or intervene in how it goes. It simply moves and lets you know it changes anyway, without needing me to stay or decide what it will be before it comes to me. And I don't try to hold it still or shape it to my will. I let it turn, I let it flow and find my place below. The light grew thin and then grew wide, without announcing either side of where the shift began or ended. It simply moved unpretended, and in that lack of clear divide, I felt something open wide, not outside but deep within, a quieter place to settle in. I sat up slowly from the ground, didn't break the silence down into something I could claim or rearrange into a frame. I just let the moment stay as it moved along its way, without deciding what it meant or how it might be spent. A shadow crossed across my feet, then dissolved into the street. No trace left to mark its path, still it didn't feel like lack, just another passing form in a day that wasn't worn by needing everything to last or define what's present past. No need to anchor what will move, no need to measure or to prove, just letting change exist as is without demanding what it gives. It changes anyway, without needing me to stay or decide what it will be before it comes to me. And I don't try to hold it still or shape it to my will. I let it turn, I let it flow and find my place below. Ooh. Maybe change was never mine to control or redefine. Maybe it was always there, moving softly through the air, and all I had to do was see that it doesn't ask of me anything beyond the choice to hear its quiet, steady voice. It changes anyway, without needing me to stay or decide what it will be before it comes to me. And I don't try to hold it still or shape it to my will. I let it turn, I let it flow and find my place below. Sky turns slow, still I lie, nothing fixed, passing by. The light begun to fold itself into corners on the shelf, not disappearing all at once, just easing up of prominence. Lines that once felt sharp and clear blurred into something softer here, not erased, just less defined, like a quiet in the mind. I watched the shadow reach the wall, stretch then settle into small movements I could barely trace. Still they altered all the space, and in that slow and careful shift I felt a kind of quiet lift, not upward, not away from ground, just less attached without demanding they remain exactly as they were before, or what I thought they stood for. It simply filled the space between what had been and what I'd seen. I moved a chair without a need, didn't question what it freed or changed within the simple act of not needing to react. And every small adjustment made didn't feel like it conveyed something larger than it was, just a shift without a cause. There's a calm in how it fades, and the edges going vague, not a loss of what was there, just a softer way to care. And the light folds in around me, not tied but to allow me to let go of sharper lines and settle into softer time. And I don't need to keep it clear or make it all appear exactly how it used to be. It's enough to let it be. I leaned against the quiet wall, watched the final sliver fall from the window to the floor, then disappear without a war. And somehow that lack of fight felt more honest than the light, trying to stay where it had been against the pull it was within. I stepped into the dimmer room, didn't feel like something lost, more like something rearranged at a gentler kind of cost. And every object in its place held a different kind of face, less demanding, less defined, more aligned with how I'd find myself within the shifting frame, without needing to reclaim what had faded or withdrawn or insist that it was gone. It simply moved into a state that I didn't need to rate or compare to what it was, just a change without a cause. No need to hold the fading light, no need to frame it wrong or right, just letting what is dimming now remain without a vow. And the light folds in around me, not to hide but to allow me to let go of sharper lines and settle into softer time. And I don't need to keep it clear or make it all appear exactly how it used to be. It's enough to let it be. Maybe clarity can fade without something being taken. Maybe softness has a place where sharpness once was stationed. And maybe I don't lose the view when it shifts into something new. I just see it differently in a quieter key. And the light folds in around me, not to hide but to allow me to let go of sharper lines and settle into softer time. And I don't need to keep it clear or make it all appear exactly how it used to be. It's enough to let it be. Light goes thin, still I stay, nothing lost, just a sway. The room didn't ask for anything, no shift in light, no sudden change. A cup still resting where I left, a line of dust along the shelf. And yet the way it held together didn't feel like something I'd measure against the standard I once knew of what was right or what was true. I moved a book an inch to the side, then stopped before I justified why I had done it in the first place, or what it meant to shift the space. It didn't need a reason there to make the moment feel more fair. It simply was a thing I did, and I let it be what it is. The sound outside a passing tone didn't pull me from my own position in the steady frame. Just lay it softly into place, like everything could coexist without demanding to be fixed or pushed into a clearer role inside a more defined control. I used to look for where things broke, where something slipped, where lines revoke their sense of order, shape or plan, and I would try to understand. But now I see it differently. Less like a flaw, more like a key that doesn't open anything but lets the moment simply be. There's a balance in the way nothing asks me to rearrange every part to make it right before I let it into sight. And there's nothing out of place in this quiet, steady space. Not because it's all aligned, but because I've eased my mind from needing every piece to fit into a frame I once had built. Now I let it all exist, and somehow that feels like this. Walked across the room again, not retracing where I'd been, just moving through it like a flow that didn't need me to control. And every step I didn't plan still landed where I am without requiring me to see what it would lead into or be. The window held the same old view, buildings stacked in shades of blue. Nothing changed beyond the fact that I no longer tried to act like something missing in the frame needed fixing to remain worth the space it occupied, or valid in the way it tried. I leaned against the wall and stayed, let the silence simply fade into something not so still, but not enough to break the feel of being present in a way that didn't need me to convey anything beyond the truth that I was simply standing through. No need to search for what is wrong, no need to make it all belong, just letting what is here remain without attaching it to gain. And there's nothing out of place in this quiet, steady space. Not because it's all aligned, but because I've eased my mind from needing every piece to fit into a frame I once had built. Now I let it all exist, and somehow that feels like this. But something softer, less defined, a shift that happens in the mind where things don't need to fall in line to feel like they are part of time. And I can stand within the blur and not need to refer. And there's nothing out of place in this quiet, steady space. Not because it's all aligned, but because I've eased my mind from needing every piece to fit into a frame I once had built. Now I let it all exist, and somehow that feels like this. Nothing fixed, nothing wrong, I remain where I belong. Lights spilled across the crosswalk lines, neon flicker in a pale blue sky. A bus exhaled at the corner stop, like it had something heavy to drop. I stood between a shifting crowd, half aware, half turned out, until a flash of painted nails cut through the gray like a signal flare. The storefront glass held passing shapes, layered lives in moving frames. Every face just passing through, but somehow pulling me along to a rhythm in the traffic lights. Red to green light, breath to life. I didn't plan to feel this way, but something pulled me into the day. A record spun inside a shop, door crack open just enough. A bass line slipped into the street, wrapped around my walking feet. Two kids danced by a parked car, laughing loud like they'd gone too far. No one stopped them, no one cared. It felt like oxygen in the air. I caught my reflection in a window pane, didn't look away like yesterday. There was something softer in my face, less like hiding, more like space. A stranger held the door for me, said nothing, still it changed the scene. Tiny moments stacked so fast, I didn't need them to last. It wasn't loud, it wasn't clear, but something shifted right in here. A subtle turn, a quiet quiet spark, a glow that lit up through the dark. And the city bloomed around me, colorizing through the concrete. Every corner held a sign that something broken could realign. I didn't chase it, didn't force it, just let myself move toward it. And in between the noise and sound, I felt my heartbeat coming back around. I follow music down the block to a rooftop with a tangled crowd. Cheap lights strung from wall to wall, someone singing much too loud. Plastic cups and leaning rails, wind catching unfinished tales. I stayed longer than I thought I would and didn't question if I should. Someone asked me where I'd been, I shrugged it off, said just around. But inside I felt the shift, like I had finally touched the ground. Not a fix, not a perfect line, just presence stretching out in time. And for once I didn't pull away from the way the moment chose to stay. No warning bell, no flashing sign, just a crossing of a quiet line. From standing still to stepping through, from fading out to something new. And the city bloomed around me, colorizing through the concrete. Every corner held a sign that something broken could realign. I didn't chase it, didn't force it, just let myself move toward it. And in between the noise and sound, I felt my heartbeat coming back around. Maybe life is less a change and more a shift in how we stay. A turn ahead, a step outside, a softer way to be alive. The lights don't ask you who you were, they only flicker, only burn. And in that glow you get to choose if you'll remain or if you'll move. And the city bloomed around me, colorizing through the concrete. Every corner held a sign that something broken could realign. I didn't chase it, didn't force it, just let myself move toward it. And in between the noise and sound, I felt my heartbeat coming back around. Neon glow, open street, I'm awake, I can see. Steam curled up from a chip white mug, tracing shapes I didn't name. The room held on to yesterday, but not in quite the same way. A clock ticks softer than before, or maybe I just heard it now. The kind of detail you ignore until it somehow pulls you out. I leaned against the kitchen sink, barefoot on the tile, not rushing into anything, just letting time be mild. There was no plan, no need to fix, no urgency to prove, only a quiet kind of space where I could choose to move. The window cracked just slightly open, let a breeze across the floor. It carried distant city sounds I hadn't noticed much before. The door slammed somewhere down the block, a laugh that rose and disappeared. These fragments stitched together felt closer than they had in years. I rinsed the cup, set it aside, watched water circle down the drain. Simple things, but somehow now they didn't feel the same. Like I had stepped a little back and seen it all anew. Not brighter, not transformed, just more honest, more in view. There's a rhythm in the pause, in the things we overlook. A quiet way the day begins if you're willing just to look. And the morning moves around me, soft and slow without a sound. Not demanding I become anything I haven't found. I don't rush to redefine it, I just let it come to me. This calm before the noise begins feels like where I'm meant to be. I stepped outside without a plan, let the sunlight touch my sleeve. It didn't feel like something new, just something I could finally receive. A man was watering plants nearby, careful not to spill too much. That kind of patience in a world like this felt like a human touch. I walked a little further down past doors I used to pass, but today sudden shift, no striking line, just easing into time. A quieter way to say I'm ready for the day. And the morning moves around me, soft and slow without a sound. Not demanding I become anything I haven't found. I don't rush to redefine it, I just let it come to me. This calm before the noise begins feels like where I'm meant to be. Maybe peace is not a place, but something you allow. A loosening of expectations, a softer version of now. Not every day needs to explode into something bright and loud. Sometimes it's enough to stand and feel yourself unbound. And the morning moves around me, soft and slow without a sound. Not demanding I become anything I haven't found. I don't rush to redefine it, I just let it come to me. This calm before the noise begins feels like where I'm meant to be. Still and warm, day unfolds. I am here, that is all.